That was
Oh my God, is that the Faces of the Future?
that was from his new album, right?
Oh yeah, that's that Rick Ross joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't heard it? You ain't heard the album yet?
No.
You gotta give it a listen.
Got to.
I skimmed through it. I didn't. Let Mills do the intro. We'll talk about it.
Welcome to episode 66 of the Faces of the Future podcast. It's your boy Mills.
It's your boy Shan.
It's your boy man Samu.
How y'all doing today, man? How y'all doing? How y'all weekend been? How your week? How was your week?
Good, man. Well, we in a new location right now.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we in Shanjo's basement now.
We in Shanjo's basement.
The
For all of y'all
Shanjo's
that watch us on YouTube, we sitting here in a new location, new setup right now. We want to change the environment a little bit, see if we bring something new energy to the podcast.
You know the vibes.
We in Shanjo's basement, man. It's a
Yeah.
vibe. You see
The Scarlet Shack.
that's what you call it? The Scarlet Shack.
Are you rah? You know the vibes.
Hey, you're in the wrong.
Over his shoulder.
You in the wrong location.
We got
to
the
say that.
Scarlet Knights.
If you look to your right, you'll see a cornhole. What did he call it? The cornhole box.
Yeah, whatever.
It says Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
So
big ass
are you
R up
rah?
there,
Shannon,
too.
we should have switched.
What's the
We
joint?
should've switched.
We should have switched.
What's the joint on that side? So to the left,
I have no clue.
That's
You
the
have no
real
clue.
Scarlet and Gray.
I don't know what that is. I can't
That's
read.
the real Scarlet and Gray.
I mean, which university is better? Let's talk about it.
Which university is better?
At what?
Athletics is Ohio
Athletics.
State.
I mean, Rutgers did good last year in basketball.
No, they
You
did
could've-
do well.
I know.
They
They
did do well.
They did, but
They're
I'm
on the
talking.
come up.
They're on the come up, but in reality, though,
Rutgers is on his way back.
Rutgers is Rutgers. Just put it that way.
Rutgers was on the way back. And
No,
Shannon
Rutgers on the
got
way
him
back.
right, but y'all, you know, when it comes to at least the football field,
I just know
they
all
got a ways to go.
out of the 3 Division I schools that we all rep, I just know my school's not the worst.
I definitely don't mind.
That's what I was saying. I know my school's not the
Definitely
worst.
don't mind it either.
Yeah, you better sit.
Rutgers
sit
is
with
a-
some
Rutgers
Rutgers
is a- Rutgers is a-
Rutgers is over there.
That's an academic power. It's
That
okay.
ain't it.
It's an
If you-
academic power.
If you watch, that ain't it. If you
It's
look, that
academic.
ain't it.
Rutgers is an academic power, but they nice in soccer though.
They are
Are they?
very,
Very
nice.
Is-
The girls team is nice.
Yeah.
Is
very
the
nice.
is the Big Ten like a big conference in soccer or what?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the Rutgers girls have been running that conference for the last couple of years.
Yeah, no, they've been like that since
That's
I've been
where
there
like
too.
Carly Lloyd and all them went. They went and played
Because
there.
when I was at Kansas State, they didn't have us. They got a soccer team after I left.
No, Rutgers
Yeah.
they have a good soccer team. They have a lot of good sports teams actually.
It's
Yeah,
not.
Rutgers.
It's just the main ones that you think about, like the basketballs, the footballs. It's not like they're not the ones that pop out the way like the other. Like they don't pop out the way that they should. Like,
I mean, and also like you got to think about Vivian Stringer, who's a women's coach. She got 1,000 wins.
yeah, she's
You know what
like
I'm
that.
saying? So Rutgers has a lot of story tradition. You know, the birthplace
They
of
do.
college football. You know what I mean?
They
So
do.
there's a lot of tradition
They the
there.
birth-
And we beat Princeton.
Okay.
And we beat Princeton.
Okay, what does that be?
You know what?
is that a moral victory?
No, it is. We were the first. They make
Oh,
the,
you're talking about the first game.
yeah, the very first game ever. We beat the.
birthplace.
We beat the.
I thought he was saying like,
Oh no!
we beat Princeton. I'm like,
No!
I'm like,
We talking about the
okay.
very first college football game.
Yeah.
Rutgers beat Princeton. That's like one of the number one things they let everybody know. We
Yeah.
beat Princeton.
It's in their stadium, the birthplace of college football. That's they like.
If you didn't know, for most people who don't know, the whole concept of Ivy League was never about education. It was about sports. I think it was. So it's like
Really?
yeah, Rutgers
They don't
was,
even give their kids athletic scholarships.
yeah. That's the funny thing about it. Like Rutgers was supposed to be in the Ivy League.
Yeah, it's a public Ivy.
Yeah, it was supposed to be in the Ivy League, but they just
Wait. This is knowledge. The Rutgers is a public Ivy League. Like
they're not a yeah technically.
They're a public Ivy.
So
bro.
so let me ask you this. So like their education system, is it like considered
notch.
on the level of like Stanford?
Yeah, a little.
in
a
research
little bit lower.
university in research universities, yeah.
They have one
Really?
of the best engineering programs in the country.
Oh my,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the best.
my chapter is full of engineers. They
Yeah.
all when I tell you that they all living good, they're all living good.
And another thing about Rutgers is that you might not know is they have the most diverse campus of all schools in the country.
Really?
Yes,
Do you think that's because of their proximity to like New York and the
of
cities
course.
that are
That
around?
has
Yeah.
nothing to do with it. And plus, they have, like I said, their engineering program, and then, Robert Woods Johnson, the big hospital that's all around. So they have Rutgers is a great place to get your
It's
education.
majority. It's the diversity is majority Asian.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like not to be.
yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
Asians go to Rutgers.
Yeah, it's a
Not
lot of
wrong to say
Asian.
that.
I was gonna say like them Asian dudes. They got money on campus.
Oh, I was about to ask you that. Because
They be walking around campus.
yeah,
fly.
like why
Fly
is
is
it,
an understatement.
why is it when they come like to here, like when like foreign exchange students come here, they be decked out.
They
all
still be
the-
decked.
They be there over there too. I feel.
Yeah, they still decked out. It's just the fact of like they just have hella bread here. Like I went to Livingston campus for people who know. It's the major campus that they send everybody on the tours on.
Mhm.
So I went to Livingston campus. I saw some dude pull out. He was taking out cash from the ATM, pulled out hella cash. I didn't see how much it was. Wanted to like me being nosy because he left the receipt there. I pulled out the receipt.
What? Wait, you took his receipt?
No. He left, but he left the receipt in the thing.
Oh shit!
He left the receipt there. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, he mad fly. I seen what the Rick Owens doing. For people who don't know, Rick Owens is a very expensive brand. I'm gonna just say that them dudes is living good and well over 6 figures here. And I was like, damn, they drive around in Maseratis, Corvettes.
Do you ever wish that you took that engineering path, like your LBs and your friends that did so, or you like you had no interest in that?
I'm interested in engineering, but not from a standpoint of, oh my gosh, like I like math. It's just from a standpoint of like I like engineering because they solve problems. That's
It's a tough field.
yeah, it's a tough field, but
they're so smart.
their whole premise is to solve ideas and to come up with new ideas. Like think of it as like artistry, but it's like they're like I look at it as logical art in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's like for me, it's like my whole theory on politics, just really quick, is like I think that a president should just hire all engineers into office in their cabinet, and I guarantee all the problems that you need, economically, financially, artistically, everything would be solved, in my opinion.
Do you guys? I'm asking both of you guys this. Do you guys believe that engineers should be identified as engineers if they went to school to be engineer? Could an engineer be somebody that's just very good at fixing problems without having a formal education? Because I look at it like you can still be an engineer without being, I have a degree in engineering. Because you have people
you can learn how to be like someone who works in the studio. You could teach yourself that, and that's an engineer.
Well, I'm not even
You know
speaking.
what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not even speaking more so like on like the music standpoint. I'm just talking about more so on someone that their sole duty is to come in and fix problems. The same way like Moose just said, the president should hire engineers because their duty is to figure out problems and issues and solve them, whether it's mathematics, whatever it may be. But if you didn't even get like a degree in engineering, but you are a very efficient problem solver in whatever problem arises, whether it's politics, whether it's just livelihood, or even math or whatever it may be, should you still be considered like an engineer because you get shit done?
I mean, you can, but it's like there's a certain type of mindset that they put you in when you're there to solve the like. It's like, how do I say this? It's like when people talk about school and like college doesn't teach you anything or like things of that nature. Like you have to understand that when you study certain things in certain majors, they're trying to teach you a certain way of thinking. It's like when you go to law, like me just now realizing this is like when you take the LSAT, when you do certain things, they're trying to get you prepared to think a certain way for when you go into that field. With engineers, they have you do all these different things in math. Maybe there's like an economics of engineering, things of that nature, to get you to think in a way that's solution based, rather than just saying, okay, we have this problem, let's talk about it. Not to diss anybody, but like we're a bunch of communication majors. Just not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just, oh my gosh, there's this problem, we don't know what to do about it. Versus engineers like, okay, so why don't we just do this, and this? You know, so it's like, to your question, we can consider some people engineers, but there's a certain way and a certain level of thinking that you need to have in order to consider yourself an engineer.
But I think you can gain those experiences not even just from the school of training that you're saying. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
If you're on the daily, as somebody's coming up and you just, like I said, you're maneuvering your way through whatever you're doing, and you kind of just fell into a role where people call you to solve problems, to get shit done, then your ingenuity skills are on a beam at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, if you want to look at it like that, then yeah, for sure, definitely, you can consider everybody an engineer. But the way I look at it is that there's a certain in my opinion, I think that with engineers, there's a certain level of balance of creativity and a certain level of logic that they use, that they put together and come up with very, very good solutions. So I think that when it comes to that, there needs to be a certain level of creativity and a certain level of logic that you need in order to say, okay, yeah, you can do this. In certain fields, you can say that. Like when you come to music engineers, for sure, you can say that. I mean, obviously, yeah, they're definitely an engineer because there's a certain level of creativity and logic that you need. But my thing is, sometimes it's like some of the solutions that we have as people, like sometimes it's not even just a sense of like creativity, just common sense. It's like if someone were to spill a drink right now, oh my gosh, what do we do? The logical solution would be get a napkin and pick it up or clean it up. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, versus say, what's the best way to fix the light or the camera? You know what I'm saying? Things like that could be like, okay, you could be an engineer when it comes to camera problems or things of that nature. So I think it really just depends, because some people can confuse saying I have a creative mindset when it comes to having problems versus I just use common sense.
Do you think that's something that like people develop, or do you think because we've had this conversation before about like leaders being born or the creative or maybe when it comes to something like this, do you think you can be obviously? I mean, this might be a dumb question, but obviously you can be taught how to become an engineer, but to be good at it, like you're saying, like to be someone that someone calls on. Do you think you can develop that like naturally? You think it's just in you?
I think it's in you, and I think once you or someone else taps into it and they unlock it, that it really kind of just opens up everything for you and makes it even easier. Because really all you need is somebody to just sort of maybe just tap into something and unlock it within you, and then sky's the limit, you know? Because I think, like you said, I think you're really born with that. You got to be born with that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I think everybody's like a 2K character now. It's like I think you all have a certain level that you start with. But as you go about, you increase sliders depending on how your life goes and how, I guess, like, and how things go for what you want to do. Like for me, obviously, like I have my creative sliders are up. At the same time, like my logical thinking sliders are going to be up because obviously I want to be a lawyer. So it's like I think that it varies on what it is. And I think that you can tap into it, but everybody begins with a certain level, I think, of logic and a certain level of creativity. It's just as you go about life, those certain sliders slide down depending on how much you need them and how much you don't need them.
You also got to want to tap into them shits too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to want to be great at something, and the more you want to be great at it, the better you'll be if you're already that fucking smart.
Yeah, like there's certain people that they start creative passions at, I guess, a later age that some people would consider, and they're good at it. Like when we look at, say, music, for example, like a lot of musicians now are like 30 years old and they're doing well. Like Childish Gambino didn't start rapping until he was almost 30. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like he almost. So it's like for that, it's like you have to understand that there's a certain level. Creativity is never gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you execute your creativity and how you and I guess how you execute it, how you create it and how you execute and how you channel it is going to change depending on how much you I guess the word I'm looking for is hone it. Yeah, hone.
Because another thing is like also when you talk about that, Charles Gambino finding like his passion for whatever he was doing. Like even me, for an example, like the creative space that I'm in now, I feel as though I just wasn't presented that opportunity to be in that space for whatever circumstance I was in. You know what I'm saying? I was full-fledged coming up. We were all like sports. That's what we was engaged in. Not that it was like I didn't like someone said, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. But it's like once you kind of exit one universe, quote unquote, I feel like that opens up opportunities for you to tap into something else. Like you said, your 2K sliders, whatever it may be, where you can say, oh, maybe my attributes are down because I just haven't had the opportunity to tap into it. But now when I'm focused on this, then things are going to go up because it's something that's always in me, kind of how Shan just said. So
I'll push back a little bit on that. Like we're all athletes here, right?
Yeah.
You played football. Shannon played football. I mean, I
did
guess
track. You did sports.
Yeah, I guess I played football. Yeah, but like when you look at it, you played linebacker, right?
Yeah.
You were a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Your whole thing was you're supposed to see the
Psycho.
field. You play honestly, truly, this nigga was a psycho. But you saw the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so what I can say is creatively, you probably saw three different. Let me not say you could probably see a bunch of different ways on how a play could go based on the people who line up trips.
Recognition
Like,
is
yeah,
different.
Of course.
your recognition of looking at things is different.
Yeah.
And so for me, what I'll push back on is that for you can use that same way of you looking at things, the same way that you could, from an artistic standpoint, you can use that same vision you used from a football standpoint to now come back and say, okay, I had saw myself looking at, say, the field, the offense is lined up in trips left. I see them, they're probably gonna run a slant post, whatever. I'm just throwing things out there.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I can come down and crack through the guard and the tackle and make a play.
Yeah.
Versus when you take that into an art perspective, I see mumble rap, hypothetically speaking, mumble rap is going to be on the come up in 3 years, or mumble rap has a 5-year gap. In those 5 years, I'm going to sit here and take somebody, I'm going to sit here and put him in X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to get him as much money as possible before he comes into before the era is over. And then by that time, by year 3, 4, I'm going to sign, say, a conscious rapper, and I'm going to sit here and manage him and put him in the best position to succeed because I know that that's going to be a longevity project. So I can challenge you to say that your vision in seeing things and where things is coming from football can be translated into the art field.
Well,
because of
like,
how you looked at things, I
it
guess.
it can be translated. I get that point. I'm not disagreeing with that at
Yeah.
all. But I'm saying though, in the sense of, yeah, I had that vision. I realized I have an ability to read shit. You know what I'm saying? I have the ability
Quickly.
to know what's gonna happen quickly, whatever, or like trends, whatever it is. But I'm saying applying it to something that I'm even more passionate about, maybe outside of that realm, is what I'm saying. Like finding out you have a passion for something else once you've finished completing a task or a goal that you've been trying to obtain for such a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel as though like even like the older generation, when you talk to them, they're so ingrained in how the way things were coming up. Like you have to be in this to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this if you want to get here, whatever it may be. And then they get to that point in their life where like 65, 70, when they're about to retire, and like,
They hate
dang,
themselves.
I wish I would have tapped into this because I could have been here if I wanted to. That's something I really wanted to do.
Exactly.
But I was always taught I could do this. And that's what I mean by like your attributes or your sliders, as you would say with the 2K reference, being down. They're only down because you didn't know you can move them up because you never tried.
That's a good point.
You got to tap
You know
in.
what I'm saying? Like
Tap
you
into
never,
your own shit.
yeah, you never tapped into it. So of course they're always going to be down.
That's
you
a
know
good
what I'm saying?
point.
If you have somebody always telling you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, it's never going to grow if you don't take that leap or a faith to try to push it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
And I feel like there's a lot of people. What Kanye say? A bird in the cage can't fly, or whatever, something like that in the one
Yeah.
song. And that's true. If you're
That's a
caged in or
fact.
boxed into something, and people are just saying like this is the space you have to stay in to be successful, and if you go outside of those lines, then it's gonna fail.
That's a
never
fact.
grow.
You feel me? You're never gonna grow, or you're never gonna, like I said, you're never gonna know that you can push them sliders up.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just, and to stay on this topic, because I want to stay on this too long, because we have a lot to discuss today. There's a lot to get into. When it comes to just knowing who to go to in your circle when it comes to certain things, we talked about being engineers. You have certain friends that you'll bring certain issues to that you may not bring to a different issue to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's fair.
So how do you guys decipher that? Because I know there's a lot of people that are listening. A lot of our listeners go through this on a daily basis. They have friends that maybe that are good for one thing, but they wouldn't tell them another thing because they know they couldn't give them sound advice on something. So how do you like
Right.
decipher and know which friend is good for what? Is it like through trial and error, or you just know based off of the relationship you built with them?
It's based off of group
Yeah,
conversations.
it's based off really the relationship you built with them, pretty much. I mean, I feel like you know what you're going to get from everyone else. You know when you need to go to somebody to hear, maybe not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear.
Uh-huh.
You know, you might be more privy to something else that we're talking about than somebody else in our chat, in our immediate group of friends. So that's really how you decipher. You know what I mean? You have that one person that you call for when you want to get something off your chest real quick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We all have that, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think knowing each other and how each other operates helps with deciphering who you're going to go to for what.
I think it starts with group conversations. Like I always talk about this. I was talking to you about this in the car. Me and my LBs, it depends on the person. Like if you're in a group conversation, you could tell the people that you can go to and talk to something about and will give you real advice versus people that are just going to be eh. So it's like for me, right, I'll talk to my deuce, and if I want someone who's going to be 100% honest with me, he's going to be 100% honest with me.
Mhm.
My five will sit here and tell me like, yo, like he'll be brutally honest, like, yo, like, excuse my language, like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, nigga, relax.
Sometimes
like,
you need that.
Like, and you do. You need somebody that's gonna tell you, like, yo, you need to
Chill.
calm down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it really just depends on the person. And it's like for me, like I'm that person where it's like I'm gonna just be upfront with you and just be like, well, yeah, you effed up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it really just depends on the people. You know, like my line brother, he'll come to me whenever he has like a issue with school or trying to figure out a solution because I just, why don't you just try this? You know what I'm saying? Like he called me the other day because he had a couple of issues with something for work, and I'm like, yo, just try this. Like, you know, so it's like like you just have to look at group conversations and see who's willing to do what and who's willing to say what and who's saying what. You know,
And you know your friends. You know how they're gonna react.
yeah.
Have you ever been in a predicament where a situation came up and you wanted to talk to somebody about it, but you didn't know who to go to about it? And like you were afraid to, not necessarily afraid, but you didn't want to bring it up because you didn't know how any of them would react because there's never been a situation that's happened to you before.
Yeah.
Yes and no,
Mhm.
right? The reason I say no is because I think that we're all so comfortable in our friend group that I don't think anybody's ever afraid to have any uncomfortable conversation with each other. So yes and no. I mean, yes, you might hesitate a little bit, but at the same time, I know and have so much respect and love for my friends that no matter what, I know we can have a mature conversation about anything, even if it's something that's uncomfortable. sit down and talk it out.
Yeah, that's a
You know what I
fact.
mean?
It depends. It depends on the situation. Like I think after you get through like some tough conversations,
Mhm.
you have a tendency to just, you know, come up and just say whatever.
So you said you were in that situation though. Like, how'd you deal with it then? If you had no one to go to, you know what I'm saying?
I did it in a group conversation.
You
Just
did
the
it
whole
in the
group.
group. You addressed the whole group, or
Yeah, like for me, my thing is that I'm the type of person, in order for me to get used to something, I address things with a whole group. So that's how I was like, okay, what do I do? Because like my thing is that like, what is the point of me trying to figure out who to talk to when I could just talk to everybody? Because everybody's always gonna have different insight on something,
yeah.
you know. So it's like something.
But you know, like some people aren't as responsive to some topics as some others are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but I mean, you'll be able to tell that though. So it's like for me, like I'll use a hypothetical. I'm using a hypothetical. Actually, no, this is a hypothetical example.
The
He had a disclaimer, the boost disclaimer.
Yeah, no,
cover them
this is
tracks.
this is a hypothetical. No, this really has nothing to do with me.
Prepare for something wild to be said.
No, it's not wild. Like
That's
for
right.
example, I had a friend who was going through relationship problems,
Mhm.
and she was trying to figure out like, yo, like who do I talk to? She talked to everybody in the friend group
Yeah.
of said person, and she was trying to figure it out. And we're like, yo, like this is what you need to do X, Y, and Z. And so for me, like it was like after a while, she like we had a conversation where it kind of just ended up being her coming to me or her coming to somebody else about something to figure it out because she didn't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
But because she came to people as a group at first, that's when she started to figure out, okay, I can't really talk to, say, hypothetically speaking, Toby about this situation, but I can talk to Kyle. You know, so after a while, it's just like when you come up to things with people in a group, for me, I think it's easier because after a while, you start to learn that, okay, this person has nothing to say. This person is just echoing what one person says. And then this person really has an opinion on this. So I should probably go to them because they have the best opinion about this, you
Mhm.
know? So,
Yeah, I've been in situations too like that, and it's not necessarily I didn't know what to say, but if you like address a group, and if someone tries to give you some advice, and they trying to sound smart, be like, "What the hell are you talking about, bro?
yeah.
That shit doesn't apply to nothing I'm saying to you." Like I've been in that plenty of times, but
And you can tell because real recognize real.
facts,
You know,
facts.
you know.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. But enough of that. There's a lot to discuss today. Where do you guys want to start today?
Let's start.
Wait,
me.
I want to say something real quick.
Okay,
I had an
yeah.
engagement party last week. Everybody pulled up.
Oh,
round of applause, round of applause.
Since
you
you
know,
here,
everybody pulled up to the party. Moose pulled up looking fly. I said, "Dog,
Bro,
what the fuck is you doing?"
because my girl was like, you shouldn't wear jeans.
Bro,
You shouldn't
I
wear-"
told
was like-
everybody dress
I was like,
comfortably.
bro-
That's why I thought you texted me early in the day as inside or outside. That's why I said it's outside.
Yeah, because I was
Be
going.
comfortable, bro.
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't know what to wear. Because my was
My
like,
man
don't
pulled
wear.
up with the blazer on. I said, "Moose, chill, bro."
Because I didn't know what to
I said,
wear.
"Moose, chill."
I didn't know what to wear. I didn't know
Why
what
you
everybody
gotta
was
pull up and
wearing.
be the flyest nigga in the party?
I didn't know what anybody was wearing. That's why I took off the blazer.
You was mad he can't flee.
I wasn't mad. I was just like, "Damn, Moose."
He came in with the
I
blazer.
said, "You fly, you fly, nigga."
I said, you fly, but you about to be hot as hell.
Yeah.
No, I was
But
that hot.
that's Moose though. Moose always pull up fly to the function.
I
you know?
try.
Shout out to the homie Jack that got lit with us.
Yeah,
You
shout
know
out to
what I
My
mean?
guy Jack.
He was a good dude to have a conversation with, for sure.
Yeah.
It was
Nah,
solid
we
dude to
had
have
a good time. It was a good show out. You know what I mean?
Shannon, since you here, I'm gonna have to give you the advice on the podcast. Well, I actually
that?
have questions for you.
What's that?
Okay.
Have you and Kaylee decided what temperature you're leaving the house at when y'all go to sleep?
We keep it low.
No, trust me, I know.
Have you decided where syrup goes? Does syrup go in the fridge or does it go in the cabinet?
Syrup goes in the. It's not going in the fridge for sure. You put syrup in the fridge?
Yes.
Why?
I mean, people go either way.
Syrup is- you like cold syrup? Like
Yes.
freezing, like cold.
I like it either way. To be honest, I don't
See,
really care about the syrup.
You see, I'm
So if you got some hot cakes, you know what I'm saying? Some
Yes.
hot cakes.
Yes.
You got some French toast with the powder
Yes.
on it, you know what I'm saying? You
Yes.
got the fresh waffles.
I hate
warm.
hot syrup.
And then you gonna put some cold syrup on some warm ass food?
Yeah, it's
You're
good.
Tripping.
Nah.
Like-
People do it both ways, bro.
But I'm saying like it's not even hot syrup.
It's the
though.
same. It's the same
room
with
temperature.
ketchup, though.
No,
Same
nasty.
with ketchup.
Nasty.
Like I feel like ketchup is a little different. Depends what you're eating. I think ketchup depends what you're
But do
eating.
you put your ketchup in the fridge or the closet?
I don't put ketchup in. I don't put ketchup in the fridge. We don't put ketchup in the fridge at our crib. We don't
Why? What is wrong with y'all?
We don't put ketchup. It's not like I'm not saying it's been done before.
It
Probably,
goes both ways.
But
It's all about your preference.
It's not something like if the ketchup sit on the counter for a week or two. Like why is the ketchup sitting out? We need to put it in the fridge like it's some milk or something. Like nah. Like
I
I can
It all
understand.
depends on your preference.
The reason why I asked this, Shannon,
Anything
is
else? Wait, any other ones?
Wait. What's the other? So you put all your condoms in the fridge?
all my condoms are in the fridge.
So we did the air. We keep the air low because we like it cold. We talked about the syrup. It doesn't really matter. Any other ones?
Nah,
Those are good questions.
the reason why, and the reason why I'm asking is because when it gets to the point, y'all gonna be like, you know what? I'm kind of sick of Shannon right now. Next thing you know, it's gonna be the smallest thing that Shannon. Why the fuck do you have this? You're like, yo, over something small. Next thing you know, it's gonna be Shannon. Why the fuck did you turn this?
It's like, babe, you mad over some syrup?
Exactly. Like, why are you mad over syrup?
Yeah,
Why are you mad over the temperature being 75? You got
75.
I feel like the temperature one is one that would really get somebody irritated though. Like,
you gonna come home from a long day at work. You gonna be annoyed. The next thing you know, it's coming to you hot. It's cold.
We like
hot
it
as
to be
hell.
cold in here because that's how we like to sleep.
I can tell I'm cold.
Do you like? I meant to
And
tell
y'all
you.
can feel it. I
See-
mean, it's cold in here.
See, that's the thing. Like, I
You know what I mean?
came in here with a tee on. I meant to hit you up for yo, bring a hoodie or a long sleeve because Shannon's basement be a little frigid.
cold.
Nah, that's all.
Especially
I'll be
down here.
good.
It's the coldest down here.
Nah, definitely. I think another one would be I just lost my train of thought.
Here's one that people talk about. It's funny. I think. How do you fold your towels?
That's
How
a
do you
thing.
fold your
Ever heard
towels?
about that one?
No.
Nah.
How do you fold
How do
your
you fold your
towels?
towels? How do you fold your towels? Let's see if it's weird. How do you fold your towels?
Well, some people do it like hotel style. Some people just do it regular. Just
Wait, what's hotel style? You roll them joints?
yeah, like kind of rolled up.
Nah.
How do you put your
We
clothes
fold them,
away?
fold them over, fold it long ways, half ways. We put it in the
All right,
closet.
that's what I do.
You know what I'm
too.
saying?
That's
Ain't
what
no-
I do too.
ain't no rolling.
And it's like, how do you do like how do you put your laundry away?
Yeah.
Do you hang all your shit up? Do you put some of your shit in drawers?
Oh, I think the dishes is the biggest one.
The
That's what I want to
dishwasher.
say. The dishes. Are you somebody like when you're cooking? Do you like you clean as you cook, or
Yes.
you let it sit after?
I
you
clean as I.
Same, I'm the same.
We both are on that same type.
Okay,
time,
okay.
though.
Because I know that's something that would irritate me to
Because
the
it's like if you do it that way, when it comes to the end of your meal, you ain't got to really do much more. It's already pretty much
after you
done.
eat, you sit there, have your little conversation.
You don't wanna
dinner.
do
You don't want to
shit.
do shit. It's the end of the day.
I let my stuff sit. Till I'm done.
You let your shit marinate, huh?
Like, I just
Moose
like
be letting his shit marinate. In the
I just because my thing is I'm cooking because normally I'm using like at least a minimum of two pots.
The dishwasher is your friend.
So like
That
my thing.
motherfucker.
I mean, I'm African. I grew up without a dishwasher, not in a bad way. It's just we didn't know what dishwashers were. Everything was hand washed. So
I think that's all of us though. Like,
Yeah, so do we. But I mean, now
They were like,
now
they were
it's
like,
you
nah.
had a dishwasher, but nah, you're the dishwasher.
Exactly.
we was growing up, we all had it was no using dishwasher at all. You better use that double sink.
She
wash
was
the fucking
annoying.
dishes.
Get the scrub,
Yeah.
scrub it up, put the soap, put it on the side,
And
wash
you know,
it
we
off.
still do that, but now for the most part, let that fucking dishwasher fill up throughout the week. Start that motherfucker.
So with the dishwasher, so like, let me ask you this, since we all use dishwashers. So do you guys wait till it's all the way full to use the dishwasher, like throughout the week, or like after the meal's done, maybe a day or two, then you start it?
I like it to be full first before I just keep running it over and over again. You know,
I let it run over and over again.
So you got
No
one.
matter
so
what
you got,
city-
so
No,
you got,
not one,
you
not
got like
one plate.
dish, you want it.
I mean, my thing is so
Moose
my,
go, there's a fork in it.
Oh, no, if
Babe,
there's
start
things-
that joint. OCD, but start that joint.
nah, if it's just me, I just wash it. It's not that deep. But if it's like multiple people that are eating stuff, I let everybody's plates go in there, and then everything is washed.
you
So.
let it build up first before you start it.
Yo, so the funniest thing, because we're on this topic, I don't even know how we got here, but we're on this
Who
topic.
started it?
I just had to make sure y'all was good, man.
So we all got siblings, obviously. So y'all ever been in a situation where, whether like there's dishes in the dishwasher, somebody was told to do the dishes,
didn't
like
do 'em?
there was no specific person, and your mom comes home and says, "Who left all the dishes in the dishwasher?" And they all just blame you.
Everybody catching hell.
You know what I'm saying? My pops is funny because he do it all the time. He'll like fall asleep when he eats on the counter. You know, you see my pops either knocked out on the couch, whatever. Shout out to my guy. That's my guy, 100 grand, all of our guy. But he'll be sitting there, fall asleep, and then leave his plate, bro. And he'll blame it on me. I'll be like,
Yeah.
yo.
Yeah,
But
that's how it goes, though.
It's funny though. It's funny
That's
though.
how
be
it
like
goes.
that.
And
'Cause
when
I be
you're
doing it
the
sometimes,
youngest one always gonna get blamed.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. But I mean, after the engagement party, how excited are you for the wedding?
Oh, very excited. Can't wait to get married.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get married, and start the next chapter after that.
Kids?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How all right, this is another how big do you want your family to be?
I think 3 kids would be good.
3.
Yeah.
I think 3 is a solid
3's
number.
a solid number, I think.
How about you?
I mean, it really all depends on what my fiance wants because it's her body.
True.
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So-
it's obviously something you guys probably
yeah, of
talked
course.
about. You know?
But we talked about two to 3 kids at least. Definitely more than one.
I think
Yeah,
two.
I think one.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
one is
not
like
one.
you don't do it justice
Mhm.
outside of like the medical stuff with your girl and the
Right.
body, whatever it may be.
Right.
Your significant other.
More than one.
More
sure.
than one. You feel me? Because I feel like that's not fair to a kid
Nah,
to grow up
it's
by
not.
themselves and
It's
like
not.
almost like
I think
isolation almost.
I think 2 kids, boy and a girl, works perfectly.
Yeah, in a perfect
In
world.
a perfect world, I think anybody, a boy and a girl, would be solid. But
If I have a boy and a girl, I'll be okay. I don't want any more kids.
it's just you don't want to have a big family, or you just want the responsibility, or what?
I think it would be easier for me to raise one child, one boy and one girl. I think it makes life easier.
Explain how so.
I think that as a guy,
Yeah, I need to hear this.
Yeah, I just want to. Yes, I'm interested.
I think that it makes it, for me, it's easier just because of the fact of you have one boy, you can focus the attention on how it sounds. I don't want this to sound like I'm imposing something, but it's like it's easier for you to raise one boy, on how he should grow up because you solely focused on him and his problems. If I have more than one boy, let's say I have 2 boys, 3 boys. Now you have to individually figure out each individual problem. I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm not saying that's an issue, but I'm saying it's like easier, at least for me, to say, okay, I have one boy. Let me raise this boy up in the best way that he should grow, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with a lady. If you have a young lady in your house, it's easier for you to raise one lady that way as well. It's easier for you to be in tune with their problems. It's easier for you to understand what they're going through. It's easier for you to have that balance. In my opinion, this is just me, because of how I personally want to raise my kids, because I want to be super not involved to the point where I'm micromanaging, but involved to the point where I understand what type of problems that they're going through as young kids and what the best solution for them would be. I'm not saying you can't do that with multiple kids.
I hear what you're saying.
But
there's
more energy to fix their solutions, I guess. I don't know if
I
I'm
feel
saying
as though
makes
even
sense.
like we're having 2 kids, whether it's like you say you have a boy and a girl, I feel as though like it's not gonna be as cut and dry as you're making it seem, or I'm gonna be in tune to one, be able to be in tune to one and be in tune to the other, like in the same standpoint, because obviously they're two different things. And then also if you add another child, say you have 2 boys and 1 girl, I feel as though you have, say it's your first time being a parent and you aren't the best parent to that one child, whatever it may be, because of whatever. Not saying that you're a dickhead or anything to him, but you just didn't parent the best because you just didn't know. Now, say you have another child, now you have that opportunity to grow on what you learned from that first experience. You know what I'm saying? Maybe be a better parent to the next person. Then you also have that older sibling to kind of like help in that situation because they've been through it, so they help you with that guidance.
Yeah, not for sure. That's definitely possible. I also
think it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure your kids are good and taken care of, and that they're that you're in their lives, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, helping them be the best person, no matter how many kids you have. I think it's your responsibility and your duty as a parent to make sure all those things are in order.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is your duty. I don't know. I guess for me, it's like, I guess I also look at it as like parents are like your permanent mentors.
Being a parent's gonna be hard.
Oh no, definitely, it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard.
But it's like it's your permanent mentor, and you're raising these kids. And so for me, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna do a lot of research, a lot of reading before I end up becoming a parent. So I guess the reason why I'm saying that is, I guess I'm basing this off the assumption that for me, when I get to that time where it is time for me to have kids and I'm ready to have kids, I would have probably done enough research to make sure that like I raise them in a healthy way. Not in the sense that I know everything that's going on in their lives, but in a sense of I'm raising them the best way where when they do grow up, they'll be independent individuals and they'll be able to do things on their own and still love me at the end of the day, because I can't control their lives, because the next thing you know, your kids resent you because you be all up in their face, you be making them feel bad, things of that nature. So
that's true. And Shan, let me ask you this, since you're in a closer stage, I guess you could say, unless something dramatic happens between like me and Moose or something like that, but you're in a stage where you're almost to that point. Do you have any experiences? You don't have to like go into detail about experiences, but if you want to go into, you can. Any experiences that you've had as like a child growing up, and like maybe like you were maybe parented where you're like, I know I don't want to do this when I have a child. I don't want to treat my child this way or go through the same thing that I went through when you came up.
Just one thing that I don't want to do or be is that overbearing parent that doesn't know how to decipher between letting your kid be a kid and then putting a lot of pressure on your kid to be an adult at a certain age. You know what I mean? I think I think we all kind of been there before, and I think looking back on my life and a lot of things that I did, it was just just kids being kids doing dumb shit. And a lot of times I feel like kids get it could be hard for a kid trying to live up to maybe some certain expectations, and it might just be hard for a kid to get through that. And one thing that I'm going to want to make sure that my kids know is that they can always come talk to me about anything. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be an overbearing parent in the sense of I want my kids always know that they can come talk to me no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. No matter what's going on. If you did something wrong, if you did something good, like come to me and help me. Like I'm not going to sit there and judge you or ridicule you for what you did. If you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. But I'm gonna be there to help you through whatever. So that's the biggest thing for me. And also, you know, because we're all athletes when it comes to sports, not going to be that parent of your child that thinks that my child is the fucking greatest shit since fucking sliced bread.
Yeah.
And something that I think that I also will do is because we also experience it all is I'm going to allow my kids to be coached by another man because I think that is also important for them to take leadership and direction from someone else, hear from someone else's voice.
Exactly.
You know,
it gives them experience.
Exactly.
Definitely gives them experience. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else on that. But nah.
I'm excited to be a parent. I mean, look, I'm excited to get married. I'm excited to be a parent. I'm looking forward to all that stuff.
It's lit. It's lit. It's lit.
So that brings me to the next thing. Since we're talking about family, relationships, things of that nature, a viral post of the game came up. The Game, the rapper from LA.
It wasn't the Game that said that. It was Chris. It was Chris Rock.
No.
I get what you're saying.
It wasn't. Obviously, the Game didn't come up with this quote, but I'm saying he posted it and it went viral.
It only got popular because Game said it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I mean,
y'all fucks with him?
He's weird.
Y'all think he's a good rapper?
Yes.
Rapper, yes.
Okay.
The antics, the antics outside, nah. I don't.
Okay.
Some of the stuff he does is just like, all right.
He's
You just want attention. Sometimes.
Okay.
He's
You
top
feel
10
me?
in the West Coast.
Of all time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
for
fair.
Sure, for sure. But let's back to the post. He posted on his story. I think it was IG story, if I stand corrected. He posted, "Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides something." So this went crazy. So how do you feel
Go ahead,
about
Moose.
this post? Yeah, Moose. You can just jump it up.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Because we know
who we dealing with, bro.
We know what we doing. You know.
But it's 100% true. Like people got mad because they said that. they got mad because they said the word love. But if you substitute the fact of like when I look at love, like you gotta, how do I say this? I agree with it because I understand that in society, guys are never gonna be viewed as valuable unless they have something to offer society and offer a woman. Like women, and I don't want women to be upset when they hear this, but women are naturally inherently valuable because they're the only way that we can reproduce. Without that, there's no humanity. So my thing is that like at the end of the day, a woman can reproduce with any man and create a man and a girl, hypothetically speaking, and they can reproduce. Without another woman, you can't reproduce. You know what I'm saying? Like with men, the reason why men are only seen as values is because we have the biological structure to work hard, do hard work, do a lot of the things that
women do
society.
too, though. Women do too.
No,
Women
but
have the structure
listen,
to
no,
do that
no,
too.
but I'm not. But what I'm saying is that, how do I say this? How do I say this without sounding sexist? I guess.
Are you saying that a woman can't love a man unconditionally? Do you think that's a true statement?
Yes. Actually, yes.
You don't think they can?
I don't think a woman.
If
we're talking strictly relationships,
if you feel that way, you're not with the right woman. Then
no. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about in general.
I'm saying in general too. I'm saying if you encounter that and you don't think that your woman loves you unconditionally, I don't know if you're with the right woman.
I think that people can love somebody unconditionally. Sorry, Miles, but I think a woman can. I think anybody can love anybody unconditionally, but I don't think that puts people in the position to stay with that person. And I think that going further with that, I think that women can love a man unconditionally, but I don't think that just because they love a man unconditionally, they're going to stay with him.
You got to act right too, though.
But it's not even
There's
about.
a lot more. I mean, you can love somebody, but you can't be doing dumb shit.
It's not about acting right.
But what's unconditional though? Doesn't unconditional mean no matter the circumstance?
Yeah, but I mean, if you fucking cheat on your girl or something like that, she has every right to leave you.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying that the unconditional part though is like you know what comes with whoever you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you willing to accept all those flaws, but that don't mean you got to get dragged or get walked all over. You shouldn't stick around for that shit like that.
I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying like even like because we were just talking about marriage, like when you make the pact, whatever it is, say your vows till death do us part. Doesn't that mean you go through whatever together?
Yeah, that's before God too.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that's different to different.
That's
people.
marriage.
No, that's different to different people. Because what the thing is with like let's look at the classic example because everybody everybody thinks cheating is a deal breaker. I personally don't think cheating is a deal breaker.
You're right. Not all circumstances cheating isn't a deal breaker.
Yeah, but I still don't even think cheating is a deal breaker in general. But that's a different story. But I think that when somebody cheats, we look at different things in different situations. It's like, oh my gosh, you broke trust, right? I actually just lost my train of thought.
Well, you definitely do break trust when you cheat on somebody.
You do.
That's a
No,
fact.
you do break trust, but I think that I lost my train of thought, so we're just gonna go down this road. But so my thing is with cheating, right? My thing is with cheating. People look at cheating as breaking trust, and you're doing something to hurt the other person intentionally. But I think that cheating also shows that the relationship at how it wasn't working, and something needs to be fixed. I look at it as a car.
Like somebody cheat on because you was lacking in something is what you mean.
Yeah, because my thing is, let's go to the example.
Let's stay here. I don't agree with that. Because I know too many people that have cheated that it's not because anything has anything to do with their relationship being messed. They just did it because they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like they were just in a situation that temptation, because temptation is a motherfucker and people know that.
Stay away from that.
But my thing is that at that point though, when you look deeper into what temptation is, it still has to do with something that somebody is missing. Like it doesn't even have to be the person that you cheated on. It could even be you.
It could just be for your ego though.
It could be,
and that's what I'm saying. It could be something that's missing.
But that's
your relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That doesn't
you might just have a fucked up ego.
But yeah, you can. But you can still make it. Like my thing is this, right? When it comes to relationships are never going to work without communication.
True.
And you also need communication with yourself. Okay. Why I say that is that when you go to temptation, some people can say, I'm tempted because, say, for example, I'm using this as an example. I'm in a club every day. I see girls shaking their ass and girls shaking their ass. They have their titties out. Makes me tempted. So I want to go over there and talk to her and fuck her, right? But my thing is,
places then if you can't control yourself.
But that's my thing. Some guys and even some girls don't understand that about themselves. So my thing is, they may not know that. They may not know what causes that temptation.
You don't need to be dating nobody in the future.
But then that's the case. But then my thing is that then should anybody date? Because then we all don't know certain things about ourselves to the point where there's a certain problem in our relationship. I'll be a tiny bit vulnerable here. For me, I have part of my problem in a lot of relationships that I've had has caused me not to trust people. Like not even just girls, just people.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is that when I do go into relationships, I'm always skeptical of somebody because you never know. Somebody's always capable of doing something. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like my mind has always been on the standpoint of you're capable of doing something. So yeah, I can believe you, but it's going to be in the back of my mind that you could do me dirty. Is that a good mindset to have? No. Because what happens
that's
kind of in defense mode.
That's self though.
But what I'm saying is with that is why do I keep losing my train of thought today? I think I'm just talk. But I guess what I'm saying but I guess what I'm saying with this whole thing is that like yeah, if you don't know yourself, or that's what I was trying to go with. So my thing is with that, right? If I don't understand that about myself, I can't communicate my partner to say, hey, maybe this would help me better. Or maybe this will help me feel like, all right, you're not going to do this or you're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So for example, if we go back to the club example, hey, I like to go out, but I don't want to be in those vicinities that make me tempted. Is there anything that we could potentially do that could help me still fulfill my need of going out, but at the same time, I'm not in an environment where I could be tempted? Mm-hmm. So if a person doesn't know that, you can't communicate that. And that's where I say, like, sometimes it's not always about, okay, this person is cheated because they're tempted. They just want to have sex. Some people just don't know themselves to the point where they can't communicate what they need so their partner can make them feel fulfilled.
Well, I mean, I agree. You ought to know yourself because like for me, I'm at the point now, like you said, going out to the club, seeing girls. Like for me, I don't even want to be there. What am I here for? Like no one here is on the same type of shit that I'm on. And even if there are some dudes that are in relationships that are married there, they'd be the ones that be out there cheating on their wives, cheating on their girls, and all that shit. That's not my type of scene that I.
But you can still. I feel as though you can still be in the mix. And
you could be in the mix
be on that type time. Like you can still pop out to the scene
for sure.
And you know what I'm saying, that stuff just might not tempt you like it used to because
Nah,
you're in a
it
different
doesn't-
mindset.
But I'm
you
saying it
feel me?
doesn't tempt me at all.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Like back when we were younger, it'd be like you weren't in a relationship, single. When you go out to the club, your mindset is different. Your
Totally
mindset
different.
is like, look, that's what I'm coming here for. The women dancing, whatever it may be. I'm just gonna find me something tonight, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
But now you're in a situation where you're about to be married, you're engaged. So when you do step into that scene, you're not even thinking about, oh, I'm not coming here to get this. I'm coming here to just vibe, catch a vibe, chill with my homies, and that is that.
That's
You feel me?
that.
Some people don't look at it like that, and I think it also involves your environment because it's like, and when I'm saying environment, it's not just you being at the club, but also be your friends that create that environment for you. Like you could be imagine, like we say this all the time.
I like where this is
You're single. Like a lot of girls, will be 100% honest. A lot of girls have single friends that cause a lot more relationship problems than the actual problems in the relationship.
and I can vouch that.
And
There's a lot, the guys,
can I.
Guys have that same
I
situation
honestly
too.
don't know who's worse. I don't know who's worse.
Bro, it goes both ways,
Like,
man.
not to be honest, because like it's
Women cheat just as much as men do, bro.
Women cheat more at a younger age, but we're not gonna get on that discussion.
Also, they cheat just as much as men do. It goes both ways.
They don't get caught. That's the problem. They don't get caught
They're definitely sneaker with it. I mean, men are just
because men believe
men be
everything.
dumb with the shit.
Men
you know what I
believe
mean?
men believe more than what women do. Women
What do you mean?
women are used to being sold dreams by men, and because women are used to being sold dreams by men, they naturally after a while, after certain things happen, they're used to being skeptical. Guys in a lot of cases are not used to girls coming up to them, or girls coming up to selling them dreams or telling them certain things. So when a girl's, oh my gosh, I love you forever, and that's like your first girl, niggas going, oh my gosh, we together
I get what you
forever.
mean. I get
We
what you
gonna
mean.
do, you get what I'm saying? And then when something happened, now you're like, damn.
So you're saying like guys aren't used to girls trying to holler at them, pretty much.
Essentially,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like pull up, like shoot they shot at them.
When a
which is-
girl
which is true.
and then when you start to grow up at an age and you start to have enough people holler at you, both guys and girls, you could tell when people are just spitting game and selling you a dream versus someone's being sincere with you. It's like, for me, like we were talking about this in the car miles. Like for me, how I am, I'm used to having girls act a certain way when they approach me or when they're interested or when they like me, do whatever.
Like they have a certain demeanor, like when you're involved with
Yeah,
them.
and so when I'm not used to that demeanor, it comes off a way, and it's like, okay, so what the hell is going on with me? What am I doing wrong? Like I automatically look at, okay, so what the hell am I doing?
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Because I like it sounds conceited, but I have fine nigga game where it's like I don't do nothing.
Hold on.
I have fine nigga game,
What is it called?
fine nigga game,
Fine nigga game.
or what people would call it as pretty privilege.
I got that PP. I got that
He
PP.
said I got that fine nigga game. Okay,
What's
Moose.
it, the FNG?
Okay,
Yeah, like that's
I
the
can
thing.
dig it.
That's what it is.
Respectfully.
It's like, for me, it's like when girl like.
Can't believe this man, bro.
When girls have approached me, even when in undergrad, when girls have approached me, they've approached me with a certain type of
Energy.
type of energy and
Yeah.
certain type of. So I'm like, all right, she likes me. Like I can do this, and it's like, for me, I know how to respond because obviously I'm a gentleman. I do the I guess what girls will consider the chivalrous stuff or the over the top stuff. It's like
The sim stuff, as they would say.
yeah, like I do the flowers, I do the dates, all that. Like it's nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's money, I can make it back. So for me, it's like when girls aren't receptive in certain ways, it becomes a situation like, okay, so now something's off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it's like, for me, that's when I'm like, okay, so something's going on. So that's when you can tell when the girl's like going to something toxic. It's like when you just having sex with a girl, right? And you spit certain types of things to girls that works and it doesn't work. That's how you know she's messing with somebody else, or she's heard that before, or she's heard something similar.
Switch your game up.
It's like the
switch the game up for
Switch
sure.
your game
it's
up.
like
Just
the
means you ain't spinning the right game.
It's
It's
like-
like you ain't
that's all.
talking to her the way you should be.
It's like the I never came from head conversations. I never came from head before. Or let me stop. I'm giving up a lot of game right now. Never
I mean,
mind.
I think we've all heard that before. Like,
I'm giving up too low. A lot of
How
girls.
did that just come out of nowhere?
No, never mind. I was about to start giving. I was about to start
Where
giving it
did
up.
that come from?
He started rubbing this. He's about to go to his bag.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I never just. Oh really? Let me show you. That's what he's about to say. That's what you be saying,
That-
don't you? Then you say, oh,
Yeah, that's
really?
the- yeah,
All
That's
right,
one of
all
them.
right.
That's
and
one of
then
them
the girl-
old tricks.
And then the
Moose.
girl, and then you tell the girls the first time for everything. Never mind. Let me stop. I'm giving it up. I'm giving it up.
That's like the high school days, my
Not
boy.
even- right?
It's not even high school games
like 08.
because girls still be but the craziest thing is girls still be falling for it though. Girls,
Hey, I
well,
wouldn't
let me
know.
stop. Let me. I'm not going to expose people. All I know is that that stuff works. All of us say, I seen text messages. I've seen that set, and it works. I've seen it still work in 2020, 2021.
Hey, everybody got their own game, but that ain't me.
When it comes to dating, I think I've said this on the show before. I'm so glad that I don't have to be out here in the streets no more, bro, because I don't know how hard it would be to find somebody to date in today's day and age. I don't know,
because nobody
just from what I see from everyone else's shit.
Because everybody wants to be.
Is there a learning curve to dating?
Now there is.
Absolutely, there is a learning curve to dating
because people want to be toxic. Everybody wants to be toxic,
especially once you move in and live with somebody else. Like it doesn't matter like what happened before your relationship. Y'all could have been together 3 years, but y'all didn't live together. When you live with somebody else, you find out new shit about that person.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother learning curve of a relationship. It's a whole nother part of y'all's growth. It's a part of it.
It's that learning curve doesn't happen though. We don't get to that point anymore because everybody wants to be toxic. Like everybody, like the biggest problem is that I think that people, like when it comes to dating, people are more comfortable with having the I had so many toxic stories versus that I actually found somebody and we grew and we made a garden together. Like it's annoying because it's like, oh yeah, I had my toxic past. Because I'm a Scorpio, I do this, and it's like all of a sudden we had this type of energy, and Mercury was Mercury was drinking Mercury was drinking Gatorade, and because they were drinking Gatorade, I had to I just had to go and cheat on this guy, and it's like
that's fact.
That line right there,
it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb, bro. Like everybody wants to be toxic, and nobody actually
just
wants
be
to have
a
a
good
healthy
person
relationship.
and know how to act.
Know how to act, and
that's all it comes down to.
Communicate.
That's all it comes down
Communicate.
to.
Facts, communication for sure. And well, I asked the learning curve thing because obviously, like you said, nowadays it's probably like crazy just based on what the climate is, and like Moose said, the toxicity that's in the air. Though people that want the fake toxicity.
People want to be toxic.
People want to be that. How much of a learning curve is too much of a learning curve for it becomes like a red flag, and you're like, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
I shouldn't have to teach you. There's one thing if you're learning about yourself, and you're learning new things about yourself, and you're expressing that to your partner. But I shouldn't feel like I have to teach you basic communication. Like there's certain things that just don't make sense. It's like if we're together, I shouldn't have to teach you what respect is, or I shouldn't have to constantly express to you 30 different times that you can't cuss me out because it makes me feel away. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I express something once, let me not even say once. If I express something to you 3 times, after 3 times that I've expressed that to you, and I actually don't see you making the effort, at that point, I can tell you don't respect me.
Okay, I can agree with that because when you first said like having to teach somebody like how to respect or communicate with somebody, I say that should be part of the growth of the relationship that stands when you that first initial learning curve. You figuring out, all right, how somebody was raised or brought up, how they talk, how they communicate, and then after that you got to adjust. But once you get to that point where things aren't changing, so you have to have that conversation. And it's like, all right, look, this is how I feel. This is how you feel. Look, we got to come somewhere where we can make this shit work. And if
relationships are a lot of
you feel me?
Compromise is very important when it comes to your relationships.
Yeah.
It can be my feelings got to dominate or your feelings got to dominate. We got to talk about how we feel, and we got to come to a common ground. Like, that's the only way it's just going to be successful. The only way. And when I see a lot of older people, like even like your parents, I ask them like, "What's the key to a healthy relationship?" They're like, "You gotta talk shit out, and you gotta come to compromises."
You have to.
That's all. And it's like they're telling like, "Oh, there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable conversations that y'all are going to have, or both of you guys are going to want to say, no, I want to go with my way, and I want to go with my way." But you guys got to come to a common ground because there's no more I. It's us now.
It's we.
It's us and it's we.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're a unit. So we got to be moving on the same accord, the same type of time. So you got to come to those agreements. You got to have those conversations. As hard as they are sometimes, because even like now, we have had some hard conversations about a lot of shit, but we got to come to a common ground on what we going to do and how we going to approach it. And you can't get into your feelings about it because you're going to have to do some shit that you don't want to do.
That's a fact.
And that's just what it's going to come down to.
For example, like one of the things that I realized for me is that I wear my heart on my sleeve, as y'all can obviously tell. And so part of my problem was that my partner didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so for me, what I've figured out was, all right, she doesn't like when I'm all up in her face when I'm talking, when we're having those problems all the time. So like for me, it was like, all right, cool. Like what we do is that we have a weekly check-in where if I get upset about something, she gets upset about something. We can say this made me upset, but we have a day where we just let it all out. And it helps. Because my thing is that sometimes what you have to understand is that when 2 people are also trying to grow and heal, what you also have to understand is that sometimes your approach to certain things may not work the best. So for me, because I know that sometimes I be complaining about things because I have certain expectations, I can't always just consistently express that because it makes people sometimes feel like they aren't doing the best job. And obviously, like for now, like not for nothing, she probably gonna listen like, nah, my girl has done an amazing job. You know what I'm saying? Like she's done an amazing job of how she's grown. But for me, it was always been like, yo, like going back to my fine nigga game, it's like I'm used to I complain about something and a girl fix it, like just like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me, it's like, yo, like what is your problem? You get what I mean? So it's like for me,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
I can relate to that.
So like for me, it comes to a point. It's like, yo, like I'm used to girls just saying, okay, this is the problem, this is what I want, and I get it. Now all of a sudden, I'm dealing with somebody who obviously is just as good looking as I am, and we're both in a situation where they've had similar experiences to me, and so because of that, it's like they don't feel. Not saying that she never felt she had to change, but it's like she wasn't used to how I was communicating to her about problems. So for me, I had to figure out, all right, I need to relax, get my thoughts together, and then talk. Because my problem,
part of growth, bro.
Yeah, and part of my problem is I be talking through my thoughts, and that be a problem.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have certain problems, it's not really those problems that you bring up aren't really the problem.
At least you can sit there and admit that you know what your problems are and that you can work on them, bro. That's the first step right there.
That's facts.
Because a lot of motherfuckers that can't sit here and say, I know what my problem is, I know what I got to change. A lot of niggas ain't willing to sit there.
Not for nothing, for a lot of guys, and I'll be. This is my feminist cap, but like not for nothing, that's a lot of problem with a lot of guys.
It's a big problem with a lot of
guys. A lot of guys are like, well, this is how I am. If you don't have a problem,
that's my problem.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem. And like I'm just like, not that I'm not willing to change for anybody, but I'm just sometimes I just be stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
It's like whether it's like I've realized like tone's like a big thing. Like when you're trying to communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying could be like the right thing, but the way you say it to somebody could affect them in a way you may not even know, like you said, from past relationships, whether it triggers them or makes them feel a certain way because of the way someone in the past treated them, whatever. And you just gotta learn to, like you say, adapt. Adapt and communicate and speak in a way that is beneficial to both parties. You feel me?
Yep.
And that's something I got to grow with. You feel me? And I'm learning day by day because none of us are perfect.
No.
But like you said, being self-aware and knowing that is the first step. And I feel like a lot of people that are listening to probably are going through that on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just the first thing.
And also know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, know who you're dealing with for sure.
That's the big part. Because if you already know how somebody is, how they coming off, it's going to make you get, it's going to help you not getting your feelings as much.
Yeah, and that's the last thing that I was going to say on this. Like, you also have to learn that, like, you have to be open to how your partner may show you love. Like, for me, like, and I'll put this with guys. Like, for guys, a lot of times we expect love a certain way. We expect that if a girl gives us sex, she gives us X, Y, and Z. She cooks, cleans, does all this. She loves me, right? But not all girls are gonna be the cooker, the cleaner, and all these different things and not love you. A lot of girls do show love, but they show love in a lot of different ways. And for me, once again, going back to fine nigga game, it's like you expect a certain things from certain girls, and when you don't get that, it may make you feel like they may not love you. And it goes for both guys and girls. Some girls are used to, oh my gosh, I'm used to a nigga paying my bills like that. Stupid ass girl talking about she not moving out her apartment because that nigga that made $200K was paying her bills. She don't want to change her lifestyle. But
yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, like she, bro, that girl made me so mad. But like, you have to experience. You have to be willing to being open to different types of ways people love you. Some people may love you in a tough love way.
Yeah,
and like that may just be how they
like
are.
A lot of parents.
Yeah. Some people will genuinely love you in that very romantic way. Some people may love you sexually. Some people may love you the best way that they know how. And you have to be open to be willing to talk about that and accept that. And also, once again, going back to communication, expressing that. My pro fight randomly, sorry, I know I'm talking about this a lot. My pro fight said randomly, because I was zooted that day, but I was zooted, and he just came up and like, yo, like, how you and Shorty? I'm like, we doing good. He's like, yo, bro, communicate.
Yeah.
Just talk. Communicate. Just take it day by day. I've been with my
have
girl
to.
10 years, and we took it day by day. And I never, mind you, I didn't talk to this man. No, he just came up to me.
Yeah, man.
And just stuff like that. I've been thinking about that since. Mind you, it's only like 3 weeks ago. But still, it's like, I've been thinking about it since. I'm like, it's weird because it was just coincidental. But I know I've been talking about this a lot. Let's be toxic now. I
don't want to be toxic yet. I don't want to be toxic. We'll get into after this because this is something that I've heard echoed through a lot of people, just males I'm talking about,
Yeah.
because we only speak from that perspective, is the way we're romanticized or loved on. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's not the same as in a general consensus as the way women are normally romanticized or loved on or treated when it comes to like relationships, their feelings, that type of thing. So why do you think?
What do you mean?
In terms of like, all right, say we pamper our women, whether it be we take them out to dinner, dates, things of that nature. But in the general consensus, and obviously there's certain cases and scenarios where this is not the case. The energy's not reciprocated. Where a guy's never taken out to something or whatever, like their birthday may not be celebrated or whatever it may be. But it's like I said, it's not reciprocated.
Society.
Like why is it like
society.
that?
Society.
I'm only bringing that up because I was watching the ASAP Rocky's interview with, I think it was Angie Martinez. He was talking about being a pretty boy, a fly nigga, whatever it may be. He's like, yo, I need to be taken out.
And I believe that 100%.
Yeah,
I believe that 100%.
And he's like, yo, I need to get taken shopping. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I want to see how y'all felt about that.
Go ahead.
I'm the bad bitch in this relationship. For real.
Like I wanted to bring that up because that was another clip that was like everybody's like, there was a lot of dudes like, yo, I feel the same way.
Society,
and
bro.
it's like,
take me shopping. For real.
Society.
And it's like. I feel as though if you say something like that, like, yo, I want my girl to take me shopping or something
soft
like that.
nigga.
Or, yeah, like you should be getting on your own.
Or this one, you ain't a man. You ain't a real man.
Nah, not even not
You know
even
what I mean?
not even that. The thing is people have this is why I say communication and understanding yourself is so key, and understanding other people is so key. Some people have not experienced someone who genuinely likes them. Like I brag about my girl all the time. Like my girl threw me a surprise party. My girl threw me a surprise party for my 25th birthday party. Yeah. Nobody has ever planned me a surprise birthday party and gotten away with it and actually gotten me everything that I got.
Happened for me this year,
and
bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like my thing is that
crazy.
no girl has ever done that. And me, like, I'm used to just saying, oh yeah, they just gonna give me pussy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and Valentine's Day. And it's like, oh my gosh, cool, pussy again, but like, what about the stuff that I care about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
like
like,
I got to the
cool.
crib, right? I'm thinking we going somewhere. I'm thinking we about to go out to eat. I pull in the crib. First of all, I see my homie Donovan in the kitchen cooking. So I'm thinking, if she got my man Donovan to come make dinner for us. I walk in, I see Mills in the back. I'm like, what the fuck? Next thing I know, the whole squad is here. I'm like, yo, this is the best fucking birthday I could have ever wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I keep. It's like when a girl is feeling you, and that's why I said you have to be open to other things, because sometimes guys may think, okay, I'm not getting no pussy from her, she don't love me, but it's like it's not always about that. Like after a while, sex is going to die down, bro, and not because of the fact you may not want to have sex with her, but because y'all out that phase where y'all just having sex with each other. Like
it's not about that no more.
It's like it's showing like appreciation, and you have this bliss stage where y'all just appreciate someone who they are. And for me, my girl doing that for me is like, I ain't never had nobody throw me no damn surprise party.
Love,
like my girl, my girl bought me lights, and she bought me a backdrop stand for Christmas. I ain't never had no girl pay attention to me about my photography needs a day in my life.
That's what I'm about to say. Right. Don't even gotta be nothing crazy. Like even my girl, I be working on laptop all day, every day. And she just sent me some Blu-ray glasses out of nowhere. It's just little stuff like that. It don't got nothing crazy. I'm like, dang, I appreciate that. Like that's I feel like that's because it's the thought, bro. That you really you see I'm doing something on a daily, and you really paying attention to that. So it's like, dang, I thank you for that, because nobody really takes the time to nourish something the way I did.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like, so it's like it's good. So when you find somebody that does that for you, it's like
that shit means a lot,
because
a whole lot.
Because I think that a lot of times, as like society, like you said, Shannon, earlier, like society is normally telling us that the guy has to pay attention to what the girl wants. Like you have to know her shoe size, you have to know her dress size, you have to know what size bra she has, or know all these different things, so that's how you can make her happy. But a lot of times, like guys don't really have the conversations about what they like, because they've never been told to express what they like. And this is why it goes back to what we were talking about the game, where it's like for guys a lot of times it's just you just have to provide. And if you're not providing something, whether in society, if you're not providing your work or your body to work for a company, or you're not creating jobs for somebody, or you're not creating a happiness for a woman, you're seen as useless. Versus with women, not for nothing, I'm not saying this in a sexual assault type of way, a girl can go get knocked up by a guy and she's immediately valuable because she's having a kid. You get what I'm saying? So it's like for guys, it's like we're not used to that, because we're not necessarily told that is what helps us get to where we need to be. As guys in society, we've always been told, hey, your value, your intrinsic value has always been in how much money you can make somebody, how much money you can create, jobs you can create, or if you can provide something for somebody.
Yep.
Women has
Be
always been,
emotionless.
yeah. Women's value has always been on the fact that they are the emotional ones. They're the ones that make the families, the nurturers, and things of that nature. But now we live in a society where a lot of women don't give a shit about having kids.
True.
They don't.
True.
And even if
a lot
they
of us
do,
don't want to have kids.
and a lot of them, even if they do, not for nothing, they be using their kids to make the money. Like these girls that be using their kids to make money from Forex. But we're not going to talk about that.
Wait, what?
Let me
What?
stop.
I never heard that one before.
Let me stop. I'm being petty. I'm being petty. I'm being petty.
They're using
being
their
petty.
kids to do
Yo,
Forex.
Moose hates Forex, yo.
Yo,
You ever seen his tweets?
hold on.
You ever seen his tweets, bro? He be like, yo, where the Forex niggas at today, bro?
Wait. Hold up. How does somebody use their child for Forex? Like, how does that even work?
They use that
The Social Security or something?
No.
What?
What I'm saying is these Forex people got exposed. OD, right? And I just
You didn't got this boy started.
and all I seen was that people were using their kids like, oh yeah, these kids are my inspiration. These kids are this, and this, and it's like,
Oh, okay.
that's what I mean. Like they be exploiting their kids to get people like, oh yeah, I'm doing this for my child. We doing financial freedom. We doing all this, and it's like you not doing that financial freedom business.
Okay.
You
I
get what I'm
you're
saying now? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like they use their kids as the method of, oh yeah, I do Forex to free my kid from working for the rest of their life, knowing damn well you stealing them sign up fees to wear fake Chanel sneakers.
Right. I want to ask you this.
Talk about that,
First
bro.
of all, what happened to all the Forex people? Because I remember you was getting all them IG requests, Facebook requests from all of it, and then they went went obsolete. And then I want to also ask, them shit went obsolete, and then also the Forex people, like, how many of them actually make bread off of trading rather than just the signups?
They
like,
don't.
I've never seen. Anytime you ask somebody, they never really show you how they did it. This is like, man, just get the sign up fee, and I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you that. It's like, bro, you just trying to do a little pyramid joint.
That's the problem.
I can't even hold you though. I used to be one of them people back in. It was like, what was it called?
You wake up now.
Yeah, I was one of them type.
Yeah,
of
you was on that.
I was one of the type, but I mean, I was like, dang,
we were all on.
Really
We were all.
It was the wave. Nah, it was
We
the
was
wave
all.
for a
We
minute.
was all on that type time.
What was it? Shout out to the homie Cheyenne. She used to make bread off that in high school. The little Verve, the little drinks.
No,
The
Verve. I
energy
knew a couple
drinks.
people that made money off Verve too.
Everybody was on the network marketing thing after a while, but after a while, it's like that money's going to the top, and they not doing nothing with the money.
It all kind of fizzles itself out.
I made a couple $, but that shit ain't do nothing for my pockets.
Yeah.
Didn't do nothing for my pockets.
Yeah, like you
bro.
spending all this money on trying to do all these different things, trying to host these events, and like the money that you send up to the higher ups, they pocketing all that money. So it's like now you send all them sign up fees, and now you got
The way
these.
he said that shit was funny.
You got all these
It
people,
is.
and I'm not even, and not for nothing. A lot of these dudes that getting exposed in Jersey, they Jersey Kappas. You Jersey Kappas
Oh,
are
man,
sitting
we go with
here
the crash shit
doing all
again.
this nonsense.
I can't knock the Kappas and pop the Kappas. So that's all on you.
No, that's
all
not-
on you.
They are Jersey Kappas trying to sit here and use their network to try to make this bread, and you out here buying fake chains, fake Louis Vuittons, all this stuff for what? To be fly for what?
First of all, I just want to say this about wearing fake shit. Niggas with bread wear fake shit too, bruh.
But my
You
thing
got a
is,
homie in the league that exposed a lot of other niggas in the league that be getting their chains off Fashion Nova, getting they Louis shit from fucking Chinatown where wholesalers.
no.
So I mean, it's cap all over the.
What Chad Johnson? What was gonna say? It all shine the same when
They
the light
all
hit
shine
it.
the same.
He
He
said
was
all
saying,
shine
"Yo, I
the
wear
same
what the
when the
fuck?
light
What the
hit
fuck am I
until
gonna
you
wear?"
wear a fresh Louis Vuitton t-shirt and the neck is green.
Yeah, but I mean,
never seen
yeah,
that,
but I
yo.
mean,
You see somebody
But-
had a neck.
Yes.
but what he's saying is that
Yes.
what he was saying is that these fake diamonds, I can get a pack of 10 for $10. Why would I go spend
because
10 grand?
I don't think I would
on
ever buy
diamonds?
real diamond.
But my
earrings.
thing is,
They'll
it's
lose them too much.
it's an asset, and that's the thing that people think it's for change. Yeah, it's
No,
for
it is
show,
an asset.
but it's an asset.
for most people, it's for show. Though.
Yeah,
Let's
for
be
show,
real.
and people
For
don't
most people,
understand
it's
that.
for
Motherfuckers
show.
ain't taking out insurance on their
But
earrings.
my
like
thing
that.
is with these people, they all like that's my thing. Like these your
It's
forex
cap everywhere, bro.
No, it is cap. That's why these kappas are sitting here trying to finesse everybody, and they did it. They finesse people crazy,
He
and
said,
now
he said we did it, Moose.
not me. Don't look at me because I was never with the shits. People they were trying to get me on. I was like, yo, I'm not doing
They,
this.
they took you to the informational.
Oh hell no! They didn't even get me to the informational.
They was knocking at your door like
No,
witnesses.
they was hitting me up. There's oh my gosh, financial freedom. I'm like, yo, no. If you want to teach me to be financially free, teach me forex right now.
How about
Teach me Forex right now.
How about when
Won't happen.
How about they get mad when they tell you nah?
Yo, nah, that's why your mom broke you.
That's
You
why your
go.
mom broke.
They were like
everything.
I had saw a tweet that said I knew these Forex niggas were too far when I told them that I wanted to quit, and they sent me a picture of my mom working.
I said, nah. These niggas is But like you said, though, they definitely fizzled the fuck out because they, for a minute there, they was all over all the socials.
They still were.
They sent a picture of your mom. That's funny, bro.
No, but that's crazy. But my thing is that's what irritates me. It's like the number one thing is that don't knock people for trying to do the brick and mortar way of making
like,
money.
oh, well, you sleep.
Yeah, and it's
you
like,
want to work for the man for the rest of your
the nigga
life.
and the nigga, and not for nothing. The nigga, there's a recording of this nigga. And the reason why I'm upset is the real reason why I'm upset is because they did this. They recruited people, and then some people wanted to quit, and they was going off on girls making threats, talking about, oh yeah, pull up, I'm gonna see what you about. You don't want these kind of problems. I'm like, you threatening women because they don't want to pay $250 to sign up under you so you can make bread, bro? Are you that broke?
You finna put it in your pocket anyway.
Yeah, and that's why
about to teach them nothing.
That's why I've been going off on these Forexes because it's like y'all look corny.
You be arguing him on Twitter?
Oh no, I don't have time for that.
You ever gotten a beef with a Forex bull?
No, but the funniest thing about them Jersey capping niggas is that those are the same niggas that were getting beat up at IOTA cookouts. They got yoked
You must
up.
got beef with
He
them.
does, bro. He does.
They got yoked up. No, I don't.
Bro.
I got beef on a very, very mature note. Why I have beef with them is because you're exploiting a lot of people, and you've exploiting a lot of young kids to do all these things for your own personal gain, and you're not even really trying to help people. Like you're doing it to wear all these sneakers, wear all these nice clothes, but at the end of the day, you still live at your mama house. You not even paying your mom mortgage. And you talk about, oh yeah, I'm trying to help break generational curses, bro. You got, bro, bro, you not.
That is their spiel, bro.
And I'm tired of it. Like,
Financial
don't
freedom.
Yeah, don't sell that to people, especially when you're recruiting people that are under the age of 18.
Yeah.
Like these kids quitting their jobs,
They're
they dropping out of school to do all this stuff, and y'all talking about, oh yeah, give up this month's rent to sign up for Forex. No, nigga, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's not logical.
That's why I'm upset. It's not even because of nothing.
Mills.
It's not.
It's not logical. It's not logical.
That's why I'm upset.
Give up your rent to pay. Come on.
You know what else is not logical? How people are really buying designer bags with nothing in them to post on the gram. I seen a thread about that. I'm like, yo, people really do this, and people make bread.
And they be empty.
People be making mint off on Amazon, just selling their designer bag for like $10.
You could make a lot of.
And people be copping. I'm like, yo, are you that desperate to make it seem like
It's
you got
all
it?
Yes.
about the look on these fucking. So it's all about other motherfuckers thinking you got it like that. I don't give a fuck what nobody think I got, bruh. Like real rap, who gives a fuck what these motherfuckers on social media think? The only motherfuckers I care about is the 70 motherfuckers that was at my engagement party last week. That's it. And they don't give a fuck about no kind of materialistic shit anyway. So I don't give a fuck what nobody think on these socials.
You only care
That's
about
facts.
the only thing you need to care about is what you look like. Like I only care about what looks good. Like I'm not gonna buy something because it's just whatever. Like
Just
I'm not gonna.
name.
Yeah, I'm not going
But
to
you
buy.
have a sense of style though. You know what I'm saying? You a fly nigga. You know what I'm saying? Some
is
niggas
true.
don't know how to. Some niggas take that shit to the extreme.
You can wear all the designer you want and still have
And
no
still
swag.
have no swag,
No
son.
swag. No swag. No drip. No
nothing.
Nothing.
That is true.
But that was good first. Let's get into the Face of the Future song of the day presented by MBT. Make sure you follow us on all our social platforms on Instagram, MBT_the1%, on Twitter, MBT the Future, and make sure you click that big red subscribe button on Twitter, MBT Face of the Future, for all of our video content. The Face of the Future song of the day comes from a rising artist. We played him before, Kalen For Real. He just dropped the deluxe to his first album, I think it is, called Two For Real. The song off of this deluxe project is called Hoochie. Once again, this is Kalen For Real, Hoochie.